Welcome to Who's Who of Asian American Historians. I'm your host, Jimmy Ma. It's my pleasure today to have a special guest in the studio, Dr. Changping Zou.
Thank you.
Dr. Zou, you're an MD, a PhD, and you have numerous titles. You are an expert in your field. Could you tell our audience a little bit about your background?
My name is Changping Zou. I graduated from University of Texas School of Public Health, and I did my postdoc training in MD Anderson, and also worked as a faculty in UT Medical School. And in Houston, I spent almost 20 years for my career and also study and live here. So I love Houston.
As a historian, your roots are here because starting in '97, you were here at UT MD Anderson Cancer Center as an instructor. And then you start teaching at UT Medical School, and then you were faculty on graduate school, biomedical sciences, and then you continued on to UT Medical School special projects. You've been here you're a native Texan. 40 years here in the United States. So your love for Houston is understandable. Even though now you're still based in Houston, but you're an associate professor at the University of Connecticut Health Center.
Yes.
What you really concentrate on right now is promoting international cultural exchange and medical exchange. So you're representing the United States on a lot of trips to the Far East, to China, on special projects. Could you tell our audience a little bit about what you're concentrating on right now?
Right now, I'm working 6 months and 6 months in both China and the US. And in China, mainly my work is focused on cervical cancer screen. This is female cancer and also especially the second malignant invasion, especially in developing country, and this is really women's killer. And each year they have a lot of women died for cervical cancer. And right now in China they have a government covered free screening program. But this screening program could not cover a lot of places. So my role is to go to remote area to do cervical cancer screening.
Well, so this is essentially you're running a charity project.
Yeah, my role is give women free screen, but wow. They are covered in the government program.
Very nice. So this is you're not just an expert in your field. You're an expert's expert because you're educated. You're an educator now too. Not only are you you implement and you know the process, but you wrote a lot of papers. You have a lot of published medical research that you've done.
Yes, because mainly my work is focused on Gynecology, Oncology, that is a female malignant, and my research project is on cervical cancer, ovarian cancer, and endometrial cancer. It's not only for the for treatment, especially we need for research and how to prevent and how to early diagnosis this malignancy. That is important because if late stage for cancer doesn't matter, it's a female cancer or other cancer. It's a late stage. It's really cause a lot of problem and also cause really painful to the patient family, and also for the society.
So what you're doing is to promote women's health and to make sure that you could stem this issue from the root by research and by providing or promoting awareness of how to do pre-screening and to stop it early.
Yes.
Because this is devastating for families, yes. Especially a mom or a sister or a daughter. That is the root of the family.
Yeah, of course, mother is a really important role in each family, and so this is really important. If we can early diagnose and prevent cancer, in the early stage, will save a lot of not only women's life and also save a lot of family.
Now, you've seen a lot of changes in the field that you've done in the medical field, and is specifically preventing cancer, cervical cancer. Is there any special examples or cases you can share with our audience including significant medical achievements or maybe patient cases that you've seen?
For cervix cancer screen in U.S. right now, compared with 30 or 40 years ago, U.S. make a lot of achievement for cervix cancer screen. Before U.S., like another developing country, cervix cancer is a second women malignant. But through this 30, actually in US we already screen for this 30 or 40 years, and also in 2006 on cervix cancer vaccine. That is, two vaccines, on the U.S. market. That is prevent HPV infection. This HPV infection is directly related to cervix cancer. And Dr. Hansen, he is, the first person to bring this theory for HPV infection could induce cervix cancer. And through this many years research and also treatment, this is
stem the issue.
Yeah, and prove this is the right theory. So in I think in 2008 he won medical Nobel Prize in medicine because his theory for the HPV, that is human papilloma virus, can cause cervix cancer. So he won Nobel Prize. So after he won Nobel Prize, for cervix cancer prevention is, put a lot of progress, especially for this vaccine. And so right now in US, cervix cancer already move to after 10. Yeah, because when we teach in the class, we can put a top 10 female cancer, on the board. Right now, we could not see cervix cancer in U.S. However, in the, developing country, they are still number 2.
So that's why you're donating and providing your time and your expertise into stemming that in other parts of the world. Because here in the United States, we already put an effective stop to it. So you mentioned the vaccine in 2006, and the doctor was able to win a Nobel Prize.
Yes.
A Nobel Prize just because of the vaccine itself, because it really saved hundreds of thousands of lives.
Yeah, because of his theory, then vaccine on the market, and also develop a lot of strategy for cervix cancer prevention. However, the vaccine is very expensive. Even WHO and the PATH Foundation, that is Melinda Gates Foundation, donate a lot of money. Still in the poor country, poor area, women and young girls could not get this vaccine.
Even with the support.
Could not get vaccinated.
Vaccinated because the cost is prohibitive.
Yes, and health policy, economy, and also people's awareness. You just mentioned, even you're not in medical field, but you did bring really important issue for cervix cancer prevention.
Wow, doctor, it's very impressive because you have moved on from the realm of just a medical field. You're talking about different level of international cooperation, of funding, of being able to help underdeveloped women in underdeveloped countries. So this moves on to not just being able to provide medical service. We're talking about a collaborative effort to have funding, to raise charity events in order to help and to promote this out there.
Yes. That is really important.
And this is in addition to all your professorships. I mean, you teach, you have hundreds of thousands of students. You have so many different positions teaching as professor, as instructor. You've also had numerous awards. What's interesting is Who's Who of Americans in 2006.
Yeah.
I wanted to point that out because that is not just a medical field award. That is an award for someone that has contributed to the community greatly.
Yes, my award mostly focus on NIH. That is the National Cancer Institute gave me an award for my research, and also I got some state commission gave me award to do research, and also for women's foundation. For example, in Texas they called Women's Her. they gave me funding and gave me award to do research on cervical cancer, and also ovarian fund foundation gave me award to do ovarian cancer research.
Yes, we all have friends and family that have been through the pain of either losing someone or going through treatment that has cancer, that's related to women's health, women's cancer causing. And your dedication to this really does matter to families, to everybody, because 30 years ago this was neglected. There was not a concentrated effort for women's health and prevention of women's cancer. And what you've done is amazing, because just looking at your background, I mean, there's pages and pages, numerous awards that I can't even go through all of them. But I want to talk about a little bit about the courses you've taught, even the teaching awards, because I think it's interesting that you are not only in research, but you also are an educator. You have joint lecture in pathology and public health, cancer prevention, cancer genetic, gynecology, oncology core. You also teach residents and fellow in journal club presentations for medical students. You're also very impressively co-director in reproductive science fellowship seminar program at UT MD Anderson. And you are also on the master's and PhD students committee. So you're educating the next generation of doctors and researchers.
Yes, as a faculty in university, of course, in U.S. university, you have to do, this is your obligate. You need to do teaching and research, and also you need to join a student committee to help you, students get their degree, and also to help them to find a real path for their research. I think this is U.S. university faculty, they must do, they have to, and also we are really happy to do that.
This is part of your passion, so you're happy to be able to provide this.
Because when I was a student, I'm really appreciate, my supervisor. My first supervisor, he is also, really famous, Houstonian. His name is Alexander Wang. His Chinese name is Wang Youmi. He is such a famous and such a donated, person. He established Chinese, learning center. I think that's the first one in Houston, and he is also gave his all efforts and his time, his life to cancer research. He is my first supervisor, and
a mentor for you.
He's my mentor, and he's like is a guiding person to lead me, to this field, cancer research, and also help me a lot. Unfortunately, he died, it's really long ago. It's maybe 30 years ago. But,
Dr. Alexander Wang?
Yeah, and but he's a person leading me go to the right path. And after he put me in the right position, he, left us. But, he is always live in my heart. When I got a chance to give lecture in Taiwan University, I was so excited because my first supervisor, Dr. Alexander Wang, he was standing in the same place to give a lecture. So I tell the first word, I tell the audience, I want to honor, my supervisor, Alexander Wang. So I was, really moved, and also audience is also really
Dr.
moved.
Zhou, that is really moving. I mean, for you to appreciate and remember the legacy, you continue the legacy of Dr. Wang. You did not forget that he's the one that set you on the path, and you continue his research and you elevate it. I mean, that's beautiful. That's a really good story.
Back to the 1986 or 88, in Houston, only maybe one Chinese, culture center, something like that. And he is a pioneer, not only in,
30 years ago. I mean, he started this 30 years ago.
Yeah, he started the first one in Houston.
And for you to remember that by you going to Taiwan and giving the lecture where he went to school, where he gave a lecture years ago.
Yeah, it's his university, and also he was teaching there.
Was it NTU?
No, it's Taida.
National Taiwan University, Taiwan 大学. That is amazing because
really
for you to remember.
Really famous university, and also it's his legacy. So after lecture, people come to me, say they still remember him.
NTU is the premier university of the Republic of China, Taiwan. That is the best of the best.
Yes.
It's the Harvard of Taiwan, essentially.
Yes, you're right.
But for you to remember this, to still cherish and appreciate him after so many years, shows what kind of your character, to know, to not forget.
He won't die. He never will die. He's
always live in your heart, and through your research, through your education, you're continuing his legacy. I really love that story. Now, audience, we will be right back after a short break to hear this amazing journey that Dr. Zou has taken in the last 40 years. Welcome back to Who's Who of Asian American Estonians. I'm your host, Jimmy Ma. We have Dr. Zou in the studio with us today.
Thank you.
And we want to continue our conversation earlier with Dr. Zou about continuing the legacy of her mentor, Dr. Alexander Wang, who also is a Estonian and an expert in cancer prevention and studies. Dr. Zou, you mentioned continuing that legacy and being able to do your best in prevention of women's cervical cancer. A lot of cancers that causes pain, that causes a lasting effect on women. But you also want to tell our audience a little bit about one of your main passionate causes right now.
Yeah. For cervical cancer screen and also for cervical cancer prevention, actually in US, we hope a lot of girls and also women 13 to 24, they have already know they got cervical cancer vaccine. You can go to your primary doctor to ask them to get vaccinated. And right now in the world, 2 vaccine we can get vaccinated for prevent cervical cancer. One is called 4-valent vaccine, and one is called 2-valent vaccine. These 2 vaccine is really got a high efficacy to prevent cervical cancer, prevent the HPV infection. Actually, we should say if we prevent the HPV infection, then we can prevent cervical cancer.
Because HPV causes cervical cancer 100%.
100%. And if not 100%, we say 99%.
Very close.
Very high, really high prevalence for HPV infection cause not only cervical cancer, for anal cancer, oral cancer, and this is HPV related cancer. They also could prevent by vaccine.
You mentioned before the break that the inventor, the professor, the doctor that came up with the vaccine won a Nobel Prize for this.
Yeah, Dr. Hansen.
But yet, why is this not prevalent? Why is it women ages from 13 to 24? Why isn't everyone getting this vaccine?
Because from the young age, you get vaccinated, you have high titer for for your reaction for this antibody. If you are much older, right now, older women, they can get vaccinated, but the preventive efficacy can reach 80 to 90%.
So even though they're past the age of 24,
you still can get
it's
vaccinated.
Beneficial to vaccinated.
Yes.
However, but isn't over 50 or 60% of the female population already have HPV?
The HPV infection, of course, is not, for the older people already married women, it's not that prevalence, but for the younger,
generation
and also schoolgirl, they have, high prevalence for HPV.
That's right, because
infection.
according to the data, there's a high percentage of younger women that already has HPV.
Yes.
So for them, it's still beneficial to get vaccinated even after they have it.
Yeah, because for the 2 virus infection, it's a rate. So usually, you only got one,
out of 10,000.
Yeah, out of 10,000. But no, same time, simultaneously, you got a 2 virus infection. It's 1 of 10,000. But for 1 virus infection, they are really prevalent, especially in the college. And for this, infection, if you got early vaccinated, it will get infection. However, if you already got one virus infected, if you take a 4-valent vaccine, you still can prevent you to get another virus infection. So even you are testing positive, that means you already got infected, but I still recommend that you got vaccinated because it will prevent you to get another 3 infection. Of course, if we want to really talk about this vaccination for cervical cancer prevention, we still need a little bit longer time, especially we talk about what is good for 2-valent, what's population good for 4-valent. Yeah, especially younger generation, I will recommend that they took a 4-valent vaccine. However, if you are older, you still want to get vaccinations, 2-valent is still good for you.
This is really critical information because the general public does not know how important this is. It is not as informed about this. Could you tell our audience why is it the medical sector not pushing for this vaccination?
Actually, I could not really answer this question because these 2 vaccines both got WHO pre-recognition.
World Health Organization promotes this.
And also got FDA approval. It should have, at that time, 2006, I think all the TV stations should broadcasting for this. This is really a big breakthrough for cervical cancer prevention because right now in the world, only this one cancer got a clean etiology and got a prevent methodology because we know how to prevent the cervical cancer. If we have early diagnosis and also vaccinated and regular screen, we really can get what I should say, we are expecting tomorrow without the cervical cancer in the future.
100% eradication.
Yes. And because for the older generation, they already got a cervical cancer, we need to treat them and also give them care. But for the younger nation, we are vaccinated, so we can't have a problem anymore. Yeah, we can have the future without the cervical cancer.
So regretfully, this is not as prevailing, and not everyone knows about it. I guess because the conflict of interest between, let's say, pharmaceutical companies and the interest of doctors. However, you are not financially involved in any of the vaccines.
No. Right now, I'm not financially involved with any of this vaccine company.
You're not promoting this vaccine because of incentive from the pharmaceutical company.
No.
Pharmaceutical company. What you're doing here is you're basically, if World Health Organization, WHO already promotes it, they already know that this is good for women, period.
Yeah.
And this is what when you're educating and you're trying to raise awareness that this is available and that people should explore this.
I was gave a tour lecture in the Asian Pacific country, China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Korea, and Macau. A lot of Asian Pacific country because I'm a medical director in in vaccine section. However, that is a work for the company, and right now I'm in China working for the poor women. I have no conflict interest with any of this vaccine company, but my role still for cervical cancer prevention. I still tell people, not only doctors and also for women, they need screen, they need got vaccinated, they need to do regularly, and they need to prevent cervical cancer as much as we can do.
You want to educate as much as you can, and you're using this as basically you're volunteering your time. This is your one of your charitable causes.
Yes.
Speaking of charitable causes, you have numerous interests outside of your field. You have a very interesting project that is going on, a charitable project in China right now.
Yeah.
Could you tell our audience members a little bit of what you do there?
Yeah. I have a couple of supervisor from my student, my PhD supervisor, my faculty supervisor, and also I only mentioned Dr. Alexander Wang. Another my PhD supervisor is Dr. Ruben Lawton. Yeah, he also passed out, but they are really good teachers. So I learned from them, so I want to give my students a lot of things like they, gave it to me. Especially for this cervical cancer screen program, I worked for Dr. Michelle Follen. She is a pioneer to try to use optical screen, fluorescent screen for cervical cancer, because human body we have a really special, character, because the body can absorb light. So this is why NIH really want to put a lot of money, try to use this doesn't matter as near red light, green light, and fluorescent light to early detect cancer. And Dr. Michelle Follen, she was my first faculty supervisor. She is trying to use this optical to detect cervical cancer, and she did a lot of work, but I don't know why. Also, I could not answer why his technology never on the U.S. market. Right now, she's also working in Africa to try to use this technology to screen poor area women, and this is also I use his methodology and also add electrical characteristics in this screen machine. So this machine, we don't need to do pathology, because in the remote area, we don't have a hospital, we don't have a pathology, we don't have a pathologist, and also I could not take a microscope, go to high mountain. But this machine give us some hope. We can screen in the poor area. This smaller machine, they can immediately, real time, reading out your screen result. And also, this is a telemedicine also can, directly transfer the image to your higher doctor to let them diagnose. So if we can training a nurse and training some people in the rural area to do the, screen, and also telling conference, and also telling transfer the image to the higher doctor, I think we can do a lot.
A lot more. You're able to be more effective because you don't have the power, the human resource to go out to every village, to every rural area. But with technology, you're able to basically reach more people and really eradicate and really help stem this issue in underdeveloped countries. This is a great breakthrough. I wish more people know about this.
I really, this is like you, when you start, you mentioned, I want to, contribute everything and especially focus on this area. I also want to donate myself to, work on, women. Whatever, because I'm a female, I want to do something. When I got this Chinese government award, BTV gave me interview, and the last word I say, I'm a female, I want to do something for women. That is, my goal. If I can contribute for this new technology, because I revise, my supervisor's technology and to do better things. If I can use this new technology to work on the poor area screen, I think, that is my goal.
Dr. Zou, I can see that passion coming out of you, your dedication. We really do want to thank you on behalf of not just Estonians, but men and women all over the world for your selfless dedication to the prevention of cervical cancer. Thank you again. I mean, we could go on and on about what you've done. We definitely will have time. I hope our audience members could see Dr. Zou's dedication and know that we're proud that she's a native Estonian, that she's been here for 40 years, and that she's done so much for everyone around the world. We want to thank you for tuning in to Who's Who of Asian American, and we'll look forward to seeing you again.